Hi everyone, myself Ashwini Patrikar. I am from JDC Nagpur and today I will explain about the blood and nerve supply of thyroid gland. What is the clinical importance of this topic? The clinical importance is during the thyroidectomy, means during the surgery of thyroid gland. So let's start. We all know the normal anatomy of thyroid gland. This consists of the left lobe and left lobe. This is the left lobe of thyroid gland. This is an isthmus and this is an right lobe of thyroid gland. Okay, this is an right lobe, this is left lobe, and this is an isthmus. Okay, now we have to focus on the blood supply of thyroid gland. This is an arch of aorta. From the arch of aorta, three main branches are coming out. Okay, three main branches. This is known as the brachiocephalic trunk. This is a common carotid artery and this is a left subclavian artery. First of all, we have to focus on the blood supply to the left portion of thyroid gland. This much portion we have to focus on. Okay. So this is a common carotid artery. This common carotid artery further divided into the two divisions. The two branches are coming out. One is known as the external carotid. This is an internal carotid artery and this is known as the external carotid artery. From this external carotid artery, one branch arises which is known as the superior thyroid artery. This superior thyroid artery is further divided into the two divisions, one that is anterior and another that is a posterior. The anterior division is supplied to the half portion of the isthmus, while the posterior is supplied to the 1/3 area of upper portion of the left lobe of thyroid gland. Okay, so and then this is an subclavian artery. From the subclavian artery, the thyrocervical trunk is coming out. This is the thyrocervical trunk. From the thyrocervical trunk, three branches are arises. Out of these three branches, one which supplies to the lower portion of thyroid gland is known as the inferior thyroid artery. This is known as the subclavian artery. This is known as the thyrocervical trunk. This is known as the inferior thyroid artery. This is the left common carotid artery. This is an external carotid artery. This is an internal carotid artery and this is posterior division and this is an anterior division. Okay, and this is an arch of aorta. Now we have to focus on the right portion. This is known as the brachiocephalic trunk. This brachiocephalic trunk further divided, means from brachiocephalic trunk two branches are arises. This is known as the subclavian artery and another known as the right common carotid artery. And this right common carotid artery further divided into the two branches known as the external. This is an internal carotid and this is known as the external. From external, same we seen in the left side, same is applied on the right area. This from the external carotid artery, one branch arises is the superior thyroid artery. This superior thyroid artery further divides into two divisions, anterior and posterior. The anterior division supplies to the remaining half portion of isthmus, and posterior supplies to the 1/3 area of upper portion of right lobe of thyroid gland. While this subclavian artery, from the subclavian artery, the thyrocervical trunk is coming out. From the thyrocervical trunk, three branches arises. Out of these three branches, one which supplies to the lower portion of thyroid gland, known as the inferior thyroid artery. Okay. This is same applied on the right hand side. What's only difference is that there is a right common carotid artery arises from the brachiocephalic trunk, while the left common carotid artery arises from the arch of aorta. Okay, the one important thing is that the one branch, that is one artery which arises directly from the brachiocephalic trunk, that is known as the thyroidemia artery. That is known as a thyroidemia artery, which supplies to the isthmus of thyroid gland, but it's seen only in 30% of cases. It's seen only in 30% of cases, not seen in all patients and all cases. Only 30% of cases we see the thyroidemia artery. Okay, so this is all about the blood supply of thyroid gland. Now we have to focus on the nerve supply of thyroid gland. Okay, for nerve supply, the main nerve that is known as a vagus nerve. This is a vagus nerve. Okay, so this is in vagus nerve. From vagus nerve, the main nerve which arises, which supplies to the one main nerve is supplies to the thyroid gland, that is known as the superior laryngeal nerve. This is superior laryngeal nerve which crosses the carotid artery and then it divides into the two divisions known as the external. This is known as an external laryngeal nerve. Internal laryngeal nerve, and this is known as the external laryngeal nerve. This external laryngeal nerve is supplies to the right, upper area of the right lobe of thyroid gland. And same happens on the left hand side. This is an on left side, this is an vagus nerve. From vagus nerve, that is the superior laryngeal nerve arises. It crosses the carotid artery, then divided into two divisions, internal and external. External is applied to the upper portion of the left lobe of thyroid gland, but it corresponds or it is related to the superior thyroid artery. Okay, this is known as the external laryngeal nerve. Okay, this vagus nerve is going downward, but from lower portion of this vagus nerve, one nerve arises and which supplies to the lower portion of right lobe of thyroid gland. Same happens on the left hand side. On left hand side, from the lower portion of vagus nerve, one nerve arises and which supplies to the lower portion of left lobe of the thyroid gland. Okay. So this is known as the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Why it is called as a recurrent laryngeal nerve? Because the usually direction of the nerve is from the upper to downward. It's a downward direction. Usually nerve supplies on the downward direction. But in this situation, what exactly happened? Direction of nerve is reverse. Direction is from the lower portion to the upper, means from low to high, means from lower to upper area. So the direction is reversed. It's called a recurrent laryngeal nerve. So this is all about the nerve supply, and before that we all see the blood supply of a thyroid gland. Okay, then what is the clinical importance? Now we have to briefly explain or discuss about the clinical importance of this blood supplies, blood and nerve supply. Okay, so this clinical importance is during the surgery. What exactly happened during the thyroidectomy, during the surgery of the thyroid gland? During the surgery, or the blood supply of the thyroid gland should be cut off. Okay, means all the arteries are cut. Means superior thyroid artery on both sides, inferior thyroid artery on both sides are cut and then ligated. And if the thyroidema artery is present, we have to cut that artery also and then ligate it all. But what happened many times during the ligation, the nerve which is correspondent, which is near to that the artery, is also ligated, and it will causes the injury to the nerve, and it leads to the complication after the surgery. The complication like the aphonia, means the loss of a voice. Patient is complain of the loss of voice or weakened voice, that is a hoarseness, the weakened voice or loss of voice. So for prevention of this complication, to avoid this complication, we should know the exactly nerve and the blood supply of the thyroid gland, because there are the many nerves which are corresponding and which are related to that artery. It's very near to that artery, so we should know the exactly blood supply of thyroid gland. So this is the main importance of this topic. And then now I show you the systematic representations of the blood and nerve supply. This is in thyroid gland, left lobe, right lobe, isthmus, arch of aorta, common carotid, external, internal branches, from external superior thyroid, from subclavian thyrocervical trunk, then inferior thyroid, and this is in vagus nerve. This same happens on present on the left hand side also, but I will draw only on the right hand side. This is in vagus nerve, then superior laryngeal nerve. From superior laryngeal nerve, external laryngeal nerve arises, it supplies to the upper portion, and from lower portion, recurrent laryngeal nerve. It is all about the blood and nerve supply.